Hello there guys, welcome to a new and hopefully long and successful series that I'm going to be doing called Sorting My Gaming Life Out. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have the same problem, I have started but not finished a horrendous number of games. Just to give you an idea of the kind of backlog that I'm working with here, I have a stack of games that I've walked away from after the first few levels. And if you want to see what they are, what games I'm going to be playing and trying to finish in this series, just pause the video as I scroll down. I'm not going to be going through every game individually in this video. So I'll start at the bottom. I will say though there that Ni no Kuni is a game that I am currently playing. I haven't really gone away from it, but it is technically a game that I'm playing and need to finish. The rest of them are games that I've started some time ago and just basically forgotten about. Grand Theft Auto more recently I've been playing, but yeah, all these games started but not finished. Wind Waker there on the GameCube, criminally stopped playing halfway through. Margin there's a great game. Enslaved, all of these are awesome games. I've really enjoyed every single one of them. There's been no, I've not stopped playing any of these because I didn't like them. I just got distracted and then forgot where I was in the game and didn't feel like I wanted to go back, because you have to relearn what's going on, or, kind of thing. Even Snatcher there at the top, you see, even Snatcher I have not finished yet. How criminal is that? So that is the backlog that I'm working with. Again, that's not exhaustive, that's only really from the last two generations of consoles, not including the new generation of course. But that's what I'm going to be doing, sorting my gaming life out. Now this has been kickstarted, I must add, by the fact that I borrowed a game off a fellow YouTuber some time ago and played the first couple of levels, or first hour or so, whatever, and forgot about it, didn't go back to it. Slap on the wrist for me. I need to give this game back to Shock16, who was kind enough to lend me The Last of Us. So that will be the game that I am playing next. The game that I'm kicking off this series with, that I have just finished though, is Heavy Rain. So there will be spoilers when I talk about this game, so if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the rest of this video, but it's been out for a fairly long time. I think it's probably fair to say that spoilers won't matter anymore with this game. If you don't want to know, then don't watch the rest of the video. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Obviously, big deal made about it at the time. It is basically like playing a movie, though. It really is. It's basically vast majority of this game. The action parts of it are quick time events. The quick time events don't always work too well either, though, because some of the icons that you have to instantly react to are very similar to each other, so that can cause confusions. So the quick time events I don't think work that well in it, and to overuse them in that way, I just think it's too much of that going on. But it's the best way, I guess, in this format to illustrate action that's going on. It's enjoyable. It's just it's not a revolution in gaming. It's not what it was initially hyped up to be in the first place. It does look good, but I found that there was a lot of texture pop. And actually some audio pop as well, which is weird, because if I remember rightly, I think this installs onto the PS3. So why there should be any audio pop? In fact, it wasn't so much audio pop as certain parts of the audio tracks, certain audio tracks would just go silent completely. So you'd miss out some voice, some conversation. Sometimes the music, background music would cut out, sound effects, and various glitches like that. Quite a lot of glitches I found with this game, texture pop, audio pop, that kind of thing. And so I ended up having to play it with the subtitles on, so that I didn't miss any important dialogue. So that was a thing. But on the whole, it does look pretty nice. Weird sometimes there's a mixture between very high def textures and very seemingly low definition textures. It's a strange mix like that. Some of the, it's basically you do a lot of mundane tasks. You have this control method which involves moving the right stick in different curved ways or different inputs, and it's interesting for the first hour or so of the game, but you do a lot of mundane things, and they don't really seem like that should be part of any game at all. And you can quickly tell, that you're basically playing a movie. You are playing, when you're playing these interactive parts, it really does feel like it's just a cutscene with tacked on controls to make it feel like you're doing something. Now obviously one of my favourite games of all time, if not my favourite game of all time, was Shenmue. That uses QuickTime events, but it uses them sparingly, and it has a lot of other stuff going on in that game. This game doesn't really feel like it's got that much else going on outside of the QuickTime events. quick time events. You've got a few kind of detective sections in the game where you're looking for clues and analysing clues, and that's okay, but it's not really that engaging. You know, it's alright. It's alright. I enjoyed it for what it was, but to be honest I was getting bored towards the end, and the storyline actually didn't make that much sense in parts of it, I found. The killer turns out to be one of the main protagonists that you've been controlling throughout the game, a cop, and he has seemed very, very earnest and very, very honest and kind and gentle throughout this whole storyline. Nothing is indicated that he had psychological problems or this split personality, this other personality. Nothing indicated whatsoever that he could be the killer. Now you could say that makes for a better, you know, whodunit, a better mystery, but it just didn't make sense in certain aspects of the storytelling. Towards the end you have this explanation of why he had this twisted behaviour, and it was to do with a childhood trauma, but it still really didn't seem like enough to cancel out all of the kind of seemingly honest, genuine, caring attributes that we'd seen him display throughout the first majority of the game. So it was a bit weird to find out who the killer was. Now, I finished it once, obviously. Apparently there are 6 main stories. What's the lighting like in here? Apparently there are 6 main stories, endings, with 16 subplot endings. So 22 endings in total, but 6 main endings, apparently. I don't care enough about the game. It wasn't fun enough for me to go through and try and watch those other endings, play through the game again and play those other endings. If I want to see them, I can just go on YouTube. I'm sure they'll be on there. So yeah, what else to say about it? Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Not a revolution. Bit of a distraction. A bit of a, you know, it's like, well, I've said everything. It's already Heavy Rain. Meh. That's my review of Heavy Rain. Meh. So, more importantly, Adam, it is finally time for me to tackle The Last of Us. You know, it's a fairly new game actually, you know, in gaming history, but it feels like I've had this for a long time, and I'm sure for Adam, Shock 16, it feels like I've had it for even longer. I will be finishing this next, Adam, and then you will get it back, and then some. I'll send you some stuff to make up for this heinous gaming faux pas that I have made by borrowing a game off someone and not playing it, and then not giving it back for a very long time. So yeah, The Last of Us will be the next one, and join me in the next episode, hopefully, which won't be too far from now. Sorting my gaming life out. Let's get cracking with knacking.